Not sure what platform to use in 2026? Well, this video is for you. My name is Andrew NFX. I've been trading for the last 7 years and I've been the #1 platform trader with CFD, with Forex, and now I've transitioned into trading with futures platforms as well. I already had some success even if I started trading futures like 3-4 months ago. Last month, December, I made around 75k in payouts, mostly from futures platforms. You can see the video on my channel. If you don't believe me, all the proof is there. So in this video, I want to share you guys the platforms that I do recommend you guys start out in 2026. This is going to be based on my personal experience. I am not affiliated with any futures platform or platform in general, and I'm just making this video again from my pure experience in terms of buying the account, passing the challenge, getting funded, getting payouts, etc. Customer support and all of that. And it's not a lot of platforms. With CFD, I stopped trading CFD platforms more than half a year ago, and I've only been trading with 2 companies. 2 companies that, you know, they're alright. Actually 3 companies, but I stopped recently with 1, and I started really talking about the second one because they added some new rules. So I'm not gonna talk about them. I'm gonna talk about the only platform that I have used for the past 4 or 5 months on CFD side. So let's get started into the video with my top platforms to use in 2026. One CFD and the others are gonna be futures platforms. Now I'm gonna start with funding pips. But listen up, I'm talking about funding pips and not funding ticks, the futures platform, because I know they did some shady stuff. They removed a lot of profit from traders due to a new 1-minute rule or something like that. I haven't traded with funding ticks because they don't allow either of my residency, so I couldn't trade with them. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the CFD platform, which is funding pips. And funding pips, in my opinion, is the best CFD platforms you can trade with, because you're not going to have any rejections. You're not going to have any hidden rules. There's nothing's gonna happen to your profit. I know for a fact when I request a payout with funding pips, I'm gonna get paid out. And that is something very important in 2026, because not a lot of platforms can offer that, especially in the CFD platforms, because we know it's filled with scams. So the account that I recommend with them is just the 2-step funding pips normal account, the 100k or whatever account size you want to use. And profit target for phase 1 is still 8%, which is pretty great. And phase 2 is going to be 5%, which again is pretty great. Maximum loss is 10% and daily loss is 3%, with 3 minimum trading days, which can be done with 0.01 lots. And in my opinion, that's pretty amazing, because it's like they offer the best rules in the entire industry. And you also can select multiple payout cycles. So I'm gonna go log into my dashboard and show you guys. And again, I'm talking from my experience. You can see my total rewards. I have been paid out $146,000 from funding pips, and I am affiliated with them, but I haven't really promoted it. I'm gonna show you guys, right? I made $37 from my affiliation code. I don't even promote it. I just had it there because why not? But you can see all the payouts that I have received. Even in December, I received 4 payouts, and I think this was around 7-8k. So 146k, right? I'm talking from my experience. So in my opinion, this is the best CFD platforms that you can use. Now the next one is Funded Next. They have both CFD and futures. I've been trading with them CFD side. I'm going to show you guys again. I am not affiliated with them, but you can see my total payouts have been almost 100k with them, and most of them were CFD. You can see I had a futures payout in November, and I'm still trading futures with them. But now, first of all, let's talk about CFD. They have a good plan. The Stellar 2-step is the one I recommend. They have a good plan. They have 8% profit target, 5%, 10%, 5%. Drawdown, same exact thing as funding pips, but the first withdrawal is after 21 days. Now, the reason I don't really recommend Funding Next for CFD anymore is because they started restricting a lot of traders, including myself. Same as FTMO. I've been talking about FTMO restricting traders, sending them emails that they're gonna sue them if they talk about it for years, right? I've been banned by FTMO like two years ago. And when I started talking about that, most people just called me a gambler and said that's why I got banned. But the reality is they restrict traders. So if you pass the challenge phase using more than 2% risk, they're gonna set you back to phase 1 or even deny your funded account. So that's what Funding Next started to do. And I've had a fund account with them for like 4 months, and then unfortunately I went on a bad losing streak and I lost the account. So I repurchased another 200k stellar two-step account, and I passed it the same way I teach my students, right? The fastest, easiest way to pass it. I've risked anywhere between 3 to 4% per challenge phase, and I managed to pass it in, I think, 2 weeks. And after that, they said, because I used too much risk, more than 1%, they're gonna deny my funded account. So they didn't even set me back to phase 1. They didn't even refund my fee. They just took my money. I passed the account and they didn't give me the funded account, which in my opinion is kind of scammy. So I do not recommend them for CFD. But for futures, I do recommend them because they have one of the best drawdown rules on the legacy account. The 50k is the best. You have 2.5k profit target and a maximum loss of 2.5k. That's a 1-to-1 ratio and it's pretty easy to hit. You also have 40% consistency, which is alright. And then the payout structure is pretty good as well. So I do recommend them for futures. Let's move on to the next futures platform, which is Topstep. Now, I know Topstep X is shit, right? Their platform is absolute dog shit and it hasn't been working properly, but Topstep is still the best, in my opinion, in the industry, or one of the best, right? Because they have an easy process to get funded, to pass the evaluation, and they have an easy process to get paid out. Not a lot of rules, which is pretty great. So obviously they only have one program. I do recommend going for the no activation fee and just go for the account sizes that you can. I personally trade the 150k accounts with them, but they're, in my opinion, the best. I've been paid out by them pretty fast. I've even got a payout on Christmas, and no other platform has paid on Christmas, which is pretty great. So Topstep, still good option in 2026. The way I recommend you trade it is just basically wait for an A+ setup and just risk the entire drawdown, maximum loss to basically make 2 days, flip 2 days, right? You have a 50% consistency score. So the way I pass the accounts is just risk the entire maximum loss, go for a 1-to-1, and then the next day do the same thing and pass the account into trades. I think that's the best way to go about it because the fee is not that much. But again, if you're on tight budget and you don't want to really, or you can't afford to lose some accounts to get funded and start getting payouts, just, you know, trade them slowly and try to reach the profit target. Trading is drawdown at the end of the day, and on the express accounts, that's another thing. Drawdown trails back to zero, basically at zero it stops. So you have, you know, 4.5k to risk until you make 4.5k, and after that you build a buffer and trade. The way I traded the live account is just basically on the trade copier and trying to make anywhere between 1 to 1.5k per profitable trading day and try to keep my losing day below 1k. And basically I got a payout once I reached 6k in payout. I got a 3k payout on each account. Now I'm back to 6k. I'm gonna trade 2-3 more days, try to get to like 8k, and then withdraw the 50% of it, which is 4k. So let's move on to the next platform, which these two are basically, or these three are basically the same, or I don't know, these four, but let's just talk about Top 1 Futures. Now, Top 1 Futures is a newer platform that has come into the space. I've been trading with them for the past 2-3 months and it worked pretty well. So they have a bunch of programs. I do recommend going for the Ignite. That's what I use. You can have up to 10 accounts, but be very careful because they're gonna move you to a pre-live account after 2 payouts or 3 payouts max. They moved me to a pre-live account after 2 payouts, and they basically closed all my 7-8 accounts that I had, which in my opinion is not really fair because I've had instant team funded accounts, 3 accounts, and I also had the 6 Ignite instant funding accounts. And these were almost close to getting a payout, and because I got a payout on my Ignite accounts, they moved me to a pre-live. So I lost all the progress that I had in these accounts. So my opinion, just focus on one program and buy the accounts that you want to go for. I would recommend getting the Ignite accounts because these are instant funded. You have let's say the 50k account, right? Whatever you want to use. The 100k is pretty good. 50k is the best, right? 50ks are the best at any platform. So you get a 1k daily loss limit, trading drawdown, end of day 2k, and you need to have a 15% consistency. But you know, you have 2k to risk, you need to make $200-300 per day, profitable trading day, and build that consistency, build that balance, and then start getting payouts. And after you get payouts, they're gonna move you to the pre-live account, which so far is going pretty great because I have daily payouts and I have an 80% profit split, and they process the payouts same day. So you also have pretty nice drawdowns. So their pre-live account is actually better than most other platforms live accounts. So it's been pretty well. You know, I make some money here and there, $500, $600 because I have a max position of 10 micros, 1 mini. So, you know, I make some money every day and we draw that profit. It's pretty nice, right? So I do recommend them, but basically just to get 1-2 payouts and then get moved to the pre-live account. Now the next one is Lucid Trading. I've recently gotten my first payout with them, which was a bit harder process because they use a different payment processor. They don't use Rise as most platforms. They use some walk network or something, and it's been quite difficult to get a payout through there, but they do process it quite fast. I do recommend the Lucid Pros. So you got eval, right? It's pretty easy to pass. You got 3k profit target, 2k max loss limit, and you have a daily loss. Or you can go for the Lucid Flex. Actually, this is the ones that I've used because you don't have any daily loss limit. So you basically have a 50% consistency, same as Topstep. You can just raise the entire max loss limit, go for even lower than 1-to-1 because you only need to make 1.5k one day, 1.5k the next day. You don't have any activation fee, and in my opinion, this is one of the cheapest options in the market. You can have up to 5 trading accounts, no issues with them. Like the dashboard is pretty nice, payout process is pretty easy, except the payment processor. It's been pretty good. So excited to get my second payout. I'm not sure how the live account works, but maybe I'll do an update for you guys in a few months. Now next one is Tradeify. I do recommend Tradeify. It's pretty easy to use. They have pretty nice programs. So they have a straight to funded, which I did trade. Basically I had the 150k accounts. I had 5 of them. I did get 2 payouts before I blew them, but the instant fund accounts are pretty nice to trade with. But then after I lost the accounts, I decided to go for the regular 50k evals, pass them, and they have 2 options in terms of payouts. So if you're like me and you're just trying to be consistent and make some bit of money every single day and not have big runs, this is pretty nice. The eval is basically the same as all the others. 2.5k profit target on the 50k is 2k drawdown, no daily loss limit, 40% consistency score, and no activation fee. They are a bit more expensive at $111 at the moment, but I still think they're a great option for new traders. After getting funded, you get 2 options, the daily payouts and the flex payout. I always recommend flex payouts. Don't rush the process, right? Trade, you know, get your balance above the buffer. You don't have any daily loss limit, and just get payouts, right? Don't rush it. If you're trying to rush it to make money, trading is not really for you. So Tradeify, a great option. I didn't get my payout with this account yet, but I will very soon. And the next platform that I do recommend is Take Profit Trader. This is like the last option because they're very reliable. Like they have 8k reviews on Trustpilot, but the rules are not really the best because on the funded account you have the trailing drawdown intraday, which is, you know, it's not really that great. But the 50k accounts, again, you do have discounts usually. Right now you got 40% off and no activation fee, which is pretty great. So basically it's at the same price point as Tradeify, but with a higher profit target. You got 3k profit target, you don't have any daily loss limit, and you have a 50% consistency score with a 2k drawdown. So a little bit harder than Tradeify, but you know, you gotta add it to your pot of trading account. It's pretty nice. And basically on the sim account, I didn't get a payout yet. I'm about to get a payout maybe this week if I do have some more winning days. But then you get an 80-20% split and you can get payouts. You do have a buffer requirement, right? Intraday drawdown, as I said, which kind of sucks. No consistency rule, which is great. You got a news rule, but 1 minute before, 1 minute after. And then my goal is to get to the Pro Plus because you had a 90% profit split and you don't have any buffer. So basically everything you make, you can withdraw. So I do recommend them as well to add to that. I do trade with some other platforms, but I can't really recommend them because they are newer and I didn't really get a payout first. And as you guys saw, I only recommend you guys the platforms that I've been trading with and have gotten payouts or are about to get payouts from. So this is my guide for platforms in 2026. I hope you guys enjoyed it and maybe take my advice as a, you know, one of the best platform traders in the world. I've gotten over $1.5 million in payouts with CFD platforms and I already hit my first 100k with futures platforms. So I'm the best qualified to talk about this subject from a trader's perspective. I'm not affiliated with the platforms. I'm not just pushing one. As you guys saw, most trading influencers, they promote Apex a lot. In my opinion, Apex is very bad and you should not use it. I've had accounts with them. I had 20 accounts, but it's just so hard to get a payout with them that it's not worth the low fee that they have. That's how they attract customers, because the 50k account is like $20. But in my opinion, it's not a good platform. It's best to focus on quality and good platforms that can pay you out. And remember guys, consistency is what matters, nothing else. Don't try to make quick payouts. Don't try to get rich overnight. Focus on the process, build the right foundation, and use the advice from successful people like myself. Thank you guys for watching. Any questions you got, you can leave a comment down below. I'll get back to everyone and see you in the next one.